Hi, let me show you how I achieved this scary, creepy, bloody look. So I started by aligning out the love shape with a pencil, and I came in with a wax, but it wasn't sticking. So I went on with a plan B, and I used a spirit gum, and it worked. I wanted the cut to look a bit more realistic, so I rolled my wax before placing it on the spirit. The spirit dries so fast, so I had to be so quick with this, otherwise I'm gonna start over and over again, and I don't have the time. The love shape came out perfectly well, and I went in with a red paint for the base. For a reason, I paused and I went in with my foundation, and oops. So I carefully painted the wax with the foundation and the edges, and then I just covered the remaining part of the face with my foundation, and I proceeded with the red face paint and then black for the hold wound effect, and I pasted some fake blood clots, and I added some powder to matte the face. In order to make it more realistic, I added some red paint at the edges of the wound and a little bit of green for more creepy effect. Then I added blood stains on the neck, and for the stretch marks I started with a white concealer, and I layered it with a little bit of red paint, and I added some blood and blood clots on the scratch, and I focused more on the details by applying more white and red. Then I added more blood spray, and I moved on to the lips, and I retouched the wound one last time. Then I added some black paint to the chest and neck to create an hold blood effect, and then I painted a heart-shaped paper to match the color of my face. So I added some blood clots and wax to create a creepy effect, and then I trimmed the edges with the scissors because the rough edges would make it more realistic. Then I added some blood spray on it, and it came out perfectly creepy, just like I pictured it on my hair. And that was how I achieved this look. Tell me what you think about it, guys. Do you think it looks realistic or not? Oh my god, why did my voice suddenly change? I don't know, but I like it.